Glasses.
All right, here we go. The Wednesday night, the Kansas City crew is in. Literally the crew. Our special guest, Kirk. You'll ask yourselves, why the fuck is this guy here? We'll explain. Sorry to get
I'm asking myself the same thing, and I know the guy.
I don't even know what I'm doing here, but whatever.
Soren, Petro.
Did you send the link?
What link are you looking for? You're on. We're good.
The one.
Oh, it goes out automatically.
Okay. There. I know, but I retweet it, you clown.
I might not tag you. I forget that. I'm always rushing before the show. It's always busy.
Such a
very
putz.
busy.
Such a putz.
Dingo is in the house.
Yes. Renee. He's here from Italian Delights. My God, I need some pasta, some pizza. Renee was on last night. We were talking about we've got a best of Vegas in the local paper, but it's all kind of janky. A lot of it's a marketing thing and social media thing, and we were naming some of the best pizzas in town. And Renee was.
I think you're just trolling for sponsors or free pizza, one or the other.
Well,
Fat
it's
ass.
actually no, it's
Bullies,
actually
baby.
it's one of the more dangerous things we do because you start bringing up best of Vegas, and then number one is this place, and you're like, oh God, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's great. I love that place.
Secret pizza.
So basically, no matter what everybody says, like Cofield's the kiss asses. Yeah, they're great. They're great.
I try, but some of my favorite material is, and I do it on the air all the time. If someone goes after a business, I'm like, well, I guess that deal with that company,
Yeah.
that salesperson that's working on the deal right now, trying to close it.
Well, right there, they know it's comedy. Salesperson working. That's like those. That's impossible.
I'd be careful. Right now, we're living and dying with these folks. So,
Are we? Are we?
Dying? Take out the living. All right. So here's the Christmas setup. See what you think. It's a wide one. Here we go.
Is he gonna start doing something with like music and everything? Or is it? Oh, look at that! Oh,
Best Christmas setup ever.
that's like multiple houses.
That's one.
No, it's just a big front yard. Just a big front yard.
That's
Just a lot of investment.
That's all
right
just
there.
your yard.
Oh yeah.
I'm not buying it.
Oh yeah.
I'm calling the bullshit.
There's no way he spent that long fixing that.
I'm calling the bull.
Well, how'd you rate that house? Looks pretty good, right?
It's pretty festive. There's no way a tired old single guy, living with a significant other, is getting his fat ass out there and stringing all that up. No chance. There's kids in that house.
That's probably his neighbor's house. Because he probably didn't want to walk that far to film that either.
Ah, you got me.
It's across the street, and you're pissed with all the light coming in, aren't you?
No, it's actually not across the street. I was driving around a little bit today, had to do some deliveries, and that was actually,
so we're dying with the salespeople in radio because now you're delivering, you're schlepping food, on the side too. Is that the deal?
I'll tell you in a second what I was delivering. No, this is actually the neighborhood. This is actually the neighborhood
bag of cheer.
This is the neighborhood of one of my co-hosts. And when I pulled in, I was like, ooh, this is great because I love lights.
Right.
I love the decorations.
Yep.
And this neighborhood was really into it. There was another house down the way that was freaking awesome. So
I want to get out and start singing.
I want to do it, but I always forget, like in August or September, to start trolling for like trading partners.
I know, right?
I used to pay for it, man, and that ain't cheap. And I'm certainly not climbing my fat ass up on a ladder. And
what did it run you?
I think they hit me up for I think you paid like $500 the first year, and you were buying the lights. You would get the lights, but it was like a 3-year contract, and then the next couple of years, you had to pay $300 or something just for the installation. And dude, it's two dudes that know exactly what they're doing, and they're in and out in no time.
Yeah.
And granted, it's worth the money for me because it'd take me a month. But you watch their efficiency, and it's like, all of a sudden you're the beeve out there watching them tar the road. Like, look at these guys. These guys are animals. Look at them go on the ladder.
It's incredible, especially if you have two left thumbs, like you're not mechanical or you're not good at that stuff at all. I've been
you're like Steve, and the thumbs are sewn actually to your rectum.
I mean, where do you store that stuff?
It's
Yeah,
so bad.
You just put it in a tub. Well, I don't know about the blow-ups. I didn't have any blow-ups. I just had the lights around the house, around the old house.
The blow-ups shrink pretty far. I have like 3, I don't know, probably what are they, like 3 or 3.5 foot long bins that I have stuff in, lights and the inflatables, and I'm adding to the collection every year. But I started putting stuff up in like the middle of November, and then like I keep looking at the house, and I'm like, this is not that impressive. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? So next year,
music.
because I've got this like 18-foot extender ladder, but last year I got up on it and I was like literally shitting myself.
Never
Take a picture of that.
It was bad, and I have, you know, Petro's he's got a lot of peaks on his house, and it's high. He's got a nice house, and mine has peaks too.
You have a nice house.
But the peaks are the issue, because you want the fucking peaks, like especially the garage and everything, and you're like, what a wimp I am. And then you're right, you're going to bring guys over. It's humbling. They're going to be up there and zip, 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 and they're done in like half an hour. You're like, I can't do that. So like, what is it worth, right?
Yeah, I will go. I'm with you though. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, God bless my wife and my little one. They went outside and they strung lights across like the rail on the back. Right,
Yeah.
just so we can kind of see it, and it's cute, and it looks nice. But I'm kind of like, no, like I'm not Griswold, but like I want it the way I want it, or I don't want to do it. You know, I don't like the guy who's got the one sickly tree with you know every third lights out, and like I mean, I guess he's getting the spirit, but
That's a
that
problem.
looks like gas. You know,
I'll get a video of mine next week when I'm more finished with it, right on the eve of Christmas.
Just get a video of you working on it.
so when's it come down? Final Four?
You know, that's a good point. This took me, it's a giant pain in the ass. The other thing is I don't know how to get into sheetrock. I don't know how to get through stucco. So I'm just destroying the house, putting like screws and nails in. And that takes me forever. I'm like up the ladder. I drop stuff. I'm using, you know, screws from 17 different things I took down.
No, you do not screw into the siding. You do not mess with the siding.
He's a master.
I got to get the house painted again. They'll come over. They'll paint it the same color. No one will notice it.
I'm not talking about paint. I'm talking about having a hole in the side of your house.
Yeah, we'll stucco it. It's an aggressive market in real estate. When I need to sell it, no, what are they going to examine the fucking holes?
Yes.
You take what I give you.
When there's mold inside the house because the water is coming in through the holes in the siding, there'll be an issue.
Think about that for a second, though. It hasn't rained here in like a measurable amount in 238 days.
But when it does, it pours like a bitch. I lived there for 3 years. I know what it's like.
I'll stucco it. It'll have mismatched colors and
Just stucco it. He's just gonna stucco it.
It's all stuck. It's all about stucco these days. It's all about stucco. All right, why is Kirk here? Kirk cornered myself and Adam Hill. It was very uncomfortable. We went to, as Petro will call it, Flaming Wands. That's
right, that's what it's called, right? Flaming Wands?
Yeah, Wands Flaming Fajitas.
Yeah, Flaming Wands.
We went there for a nosh. It was your buddy, JB. He's my buddy, too. Adam Hill and Kirk. And Kirk shows us his off-road vehicle, right? He's got this SUV, Yukon or something, or whatever, a Denali, right? What was it? Which one?
It's a Tahoe.
Same thing. Tahoe, right? But he's got it all. He's got it all equipped for survival. He's got a bed in there. He's got all the compartments, and we're like, all right, what's going on?
The shaggin' wagon.
It's dual purpose, right?
Yes. So Kirk is heading on the road from Vegas. He's going up.
Clearly not married.
Right.
Yeah. He's going up to Colorado, and he wants us to go along because he's looking for treasure.
That's correct.
By the way, this is not a joke.
No,
absolutely not.
Because he told me this shit for several years, and I laughed at him, and it wasn't until like year 4 that I realized, no, this guy's serious.
Right. This all started back when we had Rob's 40th birthday, when we were out in Vegas.
Yeah.
And so then, like a week later, I was going camping, and Soren's like, "What are you doing that for?"
That's an ass idea.
Right. And that was the first trip. And 8
so,
years ago.
But explain what it is. Like you're not just wandering around with like a metal detector, like the old farts on the beach, you know, looking to find a trinket.
Right. So
you got into something that you believe there actually was like millions of dollars.
Right. So the treasure chest. Right. the treasure chest is worth anywhere from $1 million to $4 million, they say.
And who's they?
Who knows? The media, who knows? So what happened was this.
Well, that's important.
Well, but they don't.
I think Petro is looking for the origins of the story. Talk about Forrest Fenn and the book and what he may have amassed, and he's hiding stuff somewhere, and he gets the world going fucking crazy over this treasure hunt.
Right. So he writes a book. This guy, he was a Vietnam vet pilot, shot down several times, and so then what he does is he's a big art dealer down in New Mexico. And gets to
where all the big art deals go down,
right? And so eventually, at some point, he decides. He doesn't decide. He ends up getting cancer of the kidneys, and he's like, "I need to do something with my legacy." And so he decides this whole idea of coming up with a treasure hunt. Him putting some of his treasure, gold, rubies, and all this up in the Rocky Mountains somewhere, and then writing a poem, a book. And having a regular treasure hunt.
Which was it, a poem, a book, or was it a poem and a book?
It's a book that includes a poem, but it also includes other clues. So
at any point during this process, did you go, man, this is a shit idea I got here?
Yeah. There's been a couple times where I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, I could probably do better things with my life right now. But,
by the way, I've got one person texting me, is the way you're holding the mic, are you going to bust into a couple of lounge songs here in a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna hold it like Lemmy. So,
okay, go ahead.
So anyway, for the last 8 years, I've been tracking this thing down, and on June 6th, he announces that it was found, this treasure. And so,
and your life's basically over because you've dedicated your life to this for like the last 8 years.
Right. As you know, I've dedicated my life to it. So
sold everything in pursuit of the treasure. What's amazing is you sold off like $9 million worth of shit to go find $4 million. That's what I find just so, unbelievable.
Exactly. So as it turns out, the guy said that they weren't going to tell who he was. There's all this big mystery. He said he was found in Wyoming, and they finally gave his name last week. And I was trying to get
again. Who is they?
The owner, this Forrest Fenn, came out, and
he's still alive. He hasn't died.
He has died. He has since died in September. Came out in June. Said it was found, and so then, but he had 4 outstanding lawsuits going. And so part of me thinks, maybe he just said it was found so that he could swipe away the lawsuits. And then when he dies, it's still out there, blah, 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 blah.
What were the lawsuits?
The lawsuits were frivolous. They're still outstanding. But basically people are saying, I should have the treasure because I solved the clues. And therefore give me the treasure. And they got some attorney decide to join in on that. So... But the interesting thing about the Wyoming bit is that he said it was in Wyoming, but so Wyoming is 0 taxes on treasures found. Whereas in Colorado, this is great. Whereas in Colorado,
the laws about treasure taxes on treasure finds.
Right. So if you find a treasure in Wyoming, no tax, right? State tax. And so in Colorado, you are going to get taxed. And then for this case, you'd be $200,000 or $300,000 taxed. The other thing is where I feel it was, which was in Colorado.
I was just going to say, by the way, you used to tell me you thought you were close.
Oh, yeah.
And you just told me it was found in Wyoming. You were in Utah. Were not. Can we just agree you were not close?
I was real close.
He does not believe that Wyoming is really where it was found. He thinks the guy is lying, and Kirk knows where it was. The guy just beat it to him, but Kirk was in the right region.
You got it, buddy. So basically the story is if you find it where I've got it, which is a national park, Dinosaur National Park, that's where I believe it was. But if you find it there, then you got to deal with the feds on ownership. And so I think if he just tells everybody he found it in Wyoming, no taxes and no feds coming tracking him down.
Well, smart guy.
Yeah. So that's where it was. But when I went out a couple months ago, they claimed it was already found, which it was. but he was Forrest Fenn was real wishy-washy on his proofs on the pictures and things like this. And so I just didn't believe, yeah, exactly. I just didn't believe that. And there was a lot of people, there's probably 90% of all the searchers. There's been he claims there's been 300, 400,000 people that have gone searching for this thing. And so with the clues that I've found throughout the book, I'm just like,
give me an example of a clue.
Okay, so for the
and
first.
By the way, do you feel like a shitheel at this moment?
No, not particularly.
No,
I mean,
no, you don't feel like you threw away. Like, here's
Petro,
6 months of my life. Never get back.
Sorry to cut you off. You got to listen, Kirk. You got to tell them how many people are going after this thing and how many people got seriously injured. We're talking. This isn't like 8 assholes like Kirk around the country going after this treasure. We're talking hundreds. You're not an asshole.
Yeah, hundreds
We're talking hundreds.
No, he's an asshole. He's an asshole.
Hundreds.
I spent a lot of time with this guy. He's an asshole.
If not thousands of people were looking for Forrest Fenn's treasure, this is a big deal.
Yeah. So hundreds of thousands of people were looking for it, Soren. I know. I knew as soon as it has to do with camping and the outdoors, I probably figured you were out. So, same with Steve and Adam. But 5 people had died looking for this thing. Going across rivers, exposure.
That's the thing. That's the next reason why I'm like, you dumbass. Like when you're telling me you're crossing a river, I'm like, oh, yeah, out in the middle of nowhere by yourself crossing a river. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Well, exactly. That was one of the things on my solve was you have to cross a river. But you have to cross the river at the right time of year because this is a wild river. And so there's certain times where you could cross it where it's at your waist level and really mild. And I believe that's when he took it over, which is in the September, October, and August. And that's generally when I go out there. But you got to realize that I'm also going out there just to go camping. And I enjoy that too. So I know you don't. So anyway, so that was kind of the idea. But like one of the first clues, Forrest Fenn always said, hey, you got to start with the first clue. You got to start with the first clue. And so I would say 99% of all the people out there said, okay, well, let's go to the poem and let's look at the first clue. And I was always, it's the first clue chronologically in the book, which the book is like the first, second chapter was important literature. And he went on and on about different Great Gatsby and this and that. And then he goes, yeah, I wonder if Robert Redford wrote a book, I bet it would be pretty good. Okay. Does anybody know if Robert Redford wrote a book? Do you guys know that?
No. Why would I know that?
It is. By Robert Redford. Outlaw Trail. So that's the first clue. It's on the Outlaw Trail.
Wait, real quick, just a quick sidebar. Could we not get the guy who actually found the treasure? And that's why we're talking to Kirk?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Kirk finished second. We're going to finish second place.
I finished a slow, slumbering second to the first loser. It was me. So, but anyway, that's like a clue. And so then the other thing that I felt.
So what's in the book? What'd you find in the book that was a clue?
Oh, there's all kinds of clues. And so
Robert Redford's book?
No, in Robert Redford's book.
Are you sure this wasn't just a scam to sell Robert Redford's book?
Maybe it was. You're right.
You just fell for it?
Yeah. I bought it. I bought them all. I bought all the copies. I got 10,000 copies over here. That's all he made. So basically the clues spread throughout the book were what I felt was started north and ended up going south. And the last clue in the book, like pictures and things that you would see, you could actually take the book and drive down this path and you would see things in the book in the different artwork that you would see and so I felt that was a north to south, whereas the poem was a south to north, and where they both met was the confluence of these rivers and right down there. So
and so why didn't you find it? What did you do wrong?
I the grizzly bear, I think that there, yeah.
He's so proud of you, Kirk.
I wish I knew how to use GIFs the right way, but this is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite GIFs on social media.
I agree.
That was me.
With like anything, the nod of approval from Robert Redford is just it's fucking so awesome.
I love that one too.
That is me out there looking for that stupid treasure.
Robert Redford nodding at you for buying into this and buying his goddamn book, and all you guys promoting it.
I love him.
You got the book, and you know.
I got the book. I got everything. Look, see this?
So let me reset what we're talking about. So
okay, go ahead.
Arsven, dude, reportedly buried a treasure somewhere in the Rocky Mountains, and there was this search going on forever, where people did die looking for it. It was reportedly over $1 million. Kirk was trying to convince a crew of us
between 1 and 4 million.
He was trying to convince a group of us out here in Vegas to go with him, to go on this adventure. And we're all looking at him like, okay, we're not outdoor people and you're crazy. I was a little intrigued, but then he pulled out some boots and it was like his boots to protect him from snake bites. And we were all like, all right. Like I was in like a little bit. I'm like, I'm not wearing gear to prevent snake bites. Or didn't you have like fucking bear repellent? Like bear meat? Like I'm going to fight off a bear.
Yeah.
Me with a stupid hat on, I'm going to be fighting a bear.
There's the bear spray.
Thanks, bear.
There's the bear spray right there.
Yeah, he's got a bear spray. He's got it handy.
I would tell you that like I would go as far as I could still see the car.
Okay, right.
But I wouldn't even make the drive.
No, it would be horrendous. We'd have to bring you in on a helicopter.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. It was just being outdoors, having a good time. Obviously, Forrest Finn always wanted people to be outdoors and whatnot. He's like, oh, it's going to be fun. But you know what? When there's rattlesnakes in your area and there's bears and stuff, you got to protect yourself, especially when you're out there on your own.
Kirk did not find it.
I did not find it.
He finished second.
I came in.
We definitely believe he was second closest.
Right, exactly.
Getting it done, even though it turns out he was something like a 9-hour or 10, maybe 12, 14-hour drive away from where it was found.
It was right there.
Maybe 16. He was right there.
Right.
If he had just hiked for another 6 weeks, bang, it's his.
If I just went scuba diving, would have been mine.
So is there another treasure?
There's not.
Are you gonna dive in the Bermuda Triangle or something? Like what's next?
That would be awesome. Okay, so here's a picture of the area. That's me right in the middle. And so this is a general area of what we're talking about. And so you're basically at this point, probably like 4 or 5 miles from campground. And you're probably like 4 hours.
I'm going to say bullshit. You drove out to where the big shootout took place in Breaking Bad.
You're right.
That's all you did. You took a movie tour. That's where the Breaking Bad. That's just where Hank got it.
That's just a cutout.
Bullshit. There's a tram behind, or like on the other side of the camera, there's a little tram. There's a gal in a vest with a microphone. I call bullshit. That's where Hank got it in Breaking Bad.
Soren knows me too much.
Am I right or am I right?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So I think you went out there to see. I would think you went out there to see if there were actually, the barrels of cash still in the ground.
So this area that I'm at is also known in legend to have Butch Cassidy's like 30,000 worth of gold hidden in this area back then, 1800s. So second place.
I think what everybody wants to know for a worldly traveler like yourself. By the way, Kirk has been to what? Over 100 countries?
No. We're way down.
200? Where are we at?
No, we're at 49.
49.
49 countries. There's the treasure.
There it is. Is that it, really?
Yeah, that's it.
Let me see. Can I make that bigger? Looks like about $8.
It could be. It was.
I like the random stick. Just like, well, I'm going to take a photo of the treasure. Oh, should we move the stick? No, I'll leave it there. Makes it look rustic.
What's that? What's this thing in the bottom corner, towards the bottom left corner? Is that like a lot of gold?
Like
a gold boulder?
I think it's the mold from your house.
What's the thing? I guess I was going to try to point at, but no one else can see what I'm pointing at. What's the little plastic vial? Is that like a couple rails of blow or?
It is. It is. I think.
Just want to make sure.
Robert Redford's blow.
More coins, man.
Are those just like $50 painted gold?
No, those are 1 ounce gold.
Does gold always rust?
Not particularly, no, but it looks like that key was made of something that rusts, and it probably got on that gold piece.
Got on the gold coin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gold turned out to be a hell.
I could totally see taking Soren out there. We finally find the thing, and we're looking at it, and we're just like, "Is this it? Is this all we got? Let's put it back."
Yeah, $1 million is $1 million, man, or 4 million or whatever it ended up being.
Right.
So I still want to know. So what's next?
What's next? I don't know. I got to wait for the next Indiana Jones to come out, number 5, and then I'll go there.
So do you feel kind of empty now? Like you don't have a purpose anymore?
No, you know me. I've always got something going. I've got to wait like 10 years though before I tell you.
I think there's way too much jealousy here. I admire Kirk. The 49 country thing is awesome.
Dude, I admire Kirk.
Kirk has designed his life to have almost no responsibility.
Yes.
It's a dream existence. And I don't have much. I really don't have much responsibility at all. I wish I did some of the stuff Kirk did, and maybe I'll do it when I'm old. The problem is I'm going to be in a fucking scooter and 340 pounds.
You just got to go do it, man.
I love what Kirk has done because most of us are like, oh, I'm going to work to build up the money. Then when I retire, I'll be all over the world. Like, no, you'll be using a fucking walker with tennis balls, asshole. You should have done it 60 years ago.
Yeah. By the way, I do like Cameron's. All that searching for Fun Factory tokens. Fun Factory was an arcade here back in the day.
Anytime you guys want to go somewhere, let's
go.
New Zealand, Australia, whatever, let's go.
Like how Kirk and I became friends was I met Kirk through another friend, a mutual friend, right? And literally I hung out with Kirk maybe once or twice. And you were there, Steve, and I run into Kirk and a buddy of mine in a bar, and we're talking. He's like, yeah, what do you got going on? I'm like, well, like next week I got to go out to Vegas. My buddy JB's getting married. It's his bachelor party. I'm like, you should go. And he's like, all right, I'm in. You say that kind of shit. We were having a good time, having a couple of drinks. Yeah, you should go. Yeah, I'm in. Like,
now I'll go.
That guy's never going. No fucking chance that guy's
That's
going.
Right.
Dude, he's like, I get a text the next day, or maybe it was a call. Maybe this was back before.
Where we staying?
I remember. He's like, where are we staying? And what flight? And he's on the trip.
He doesn't care.
I know the guy like 10 minutes, and he's going to Vegas with me. It's like
we knew each other a little bit from the Wiz, but
yeah, we did. That's right. That's right. I take that back.
Not a lot though. I mean, we weren't like hanging out all the time, buddies, until that trip.
Yeah.
So
and there at what used Sporting Kansas City was the Wizards, and before that they were the Kansas City Wiz. And then the first year I was the stadium address announcer, and Kirk was the mascot.
Right.
So, talk about a couple of guys just getting buckets of chicks, right there. The stadium address announcer and the mascot. We roll into a bar. That's
like the 90s, baby.
That's the start of some good jokes right there. Forget about a priest, a rabbi, and no. The stadium address announcer and a mascot roll into a bar, right? There's just a million of those jokes. And they all end with us going home with chicks.
What's the Wiz?
The Wiz, so Sporting Kansas City, the MLS team, before they were Sporting Kansas City, when they went, everyone's gone to the European approach to things. They were called the Kansas City Wizards, but their original incarnation was the Kansas City Wiz.
The Wiz.
And then when they played the Burn, there was a lot of fun about the Wiz versus the Burn. Does the Burn come before the Wiz, or? It
was good times. It was good times in soccer.
It was. It actually was. They had some great parties. Still a great organization. Fantastic.
And then that Vegas trip solidified our friendship.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
it did.
And that was the first time. And that was the first time you met me.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh shit, that was quite an impression I made.
That was like 01 or 02 or something.
We're not. By the way, we're not that. We've gone as far as we're going on that one.
We're not going to even give like a little bit of a detail.
No.
You know what? I'll give my detail.
No.
We can't do any of it?
No.
Oh, man. I'll have to do that on another edition of Cofield & Company, but it wasn't with these guys. Don't even listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. Later when he tells you some
I'll just
wild ass stories.
all I'll throw out there is I at one point I may have been. This is quite the tease for not any sort of.
And then don't do it.
Yeah. At one point, you saw me dancing with some girls. That's what you saw me. That's it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So
I will.
I will let you.
So
I
fucking
will
hard.
let you.
Next
So-
time I see you.
So the long story
Good
short
trip
was
is what it was.
it was a good trip. It solidified the friendship, and even with that, I still couldn't get any of you guys to go treasure hunting with me. But I knew that. I knew that.
I know you had to see me in shirtless in boxer briefs. I owe you, and that's the end of the story. And
I'll
it's
get
a
you
good
some
story.
barbecue sauce.
It's a good story. I feel like
There may have been local authorities involved at some point.
and it wasn't based on my being there in boxer briefs. Amazing.
No.
I was not the one being investigated. So that's it.
I will say nobody did actually have to go downtown. There was some thought that might have to happen, but it did not happen. It did not occur. That's all we're gonna say.
It's
Yeah.
no one on this broadcast, and it's really no one I really know. But I also
there was a hot mess on that. Yeah.
I also didn't realize that someone could get that high.
There was
That's
one
part of the
guy.
story. I'd
There
never
was
met.
one guy who was not part of what we would call our group. There's
Yes.
like this. Who knows this guy again? And why is he here? That created a shitstorm. Yeah, and I don't know. Is he even still alive?
I don't know where Phil is.
Oh, you just gave it away.
I have no idea. I do remember his name for some reason. It did not involve a bagel with locks. Our buddy Dustin Swedelson, who had his sandwich rankings last week, I think would have turned out for our hanging out. I'll just leave it at that.
I would say it was Kurt. What, number 2 on your all-time Vegas trips?
Yeah.
Number 1 was the
Was the Ortiz fight with the
Yeah, the
Mayweather Ortiz fight. Weekend.
Ortiz fight weekend. That's his number 1 Vegas trip.
Yeah, it was like 2013 or something. Number 1.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Everything. One after another.
I did not pull out a knife on that trip.
I didn't either.
Hold on.
I didn't either.
Hold on.
Someone did.
Somebody pulled out a knife on that trip. It wasn't me either.
No one in
none of
radio.
us did.
No one in radio in Kansas City's ever told that story. I'd be so proud of that story. I've never wielded a knife.
Listen, that just happens in our lives. All right, this just happens. It's an everyday thing.
No, that story has not been.
Okay, you're right.
On the airways in Kansas City.
All right.
There were a lot of things. There was, like you watch the movie The Hangover, and you're like, yeah. If you can't watch The Hangover and go, then you don't have a top Vegas story.
That's the trip that Mike Tyson shoulder bumped me. I just kept going.
Yeah, good move.
I wasn't gonna ask him why. I just kept going.
And that is a fact. That's all. There are all these kind of little things like that. We also had a hookup who got us into a freaking palace. Me, Kirk, and our buddy Arch stayed in a friggin' like condo, I guess you'd say. Like we had a buddy who worked in the industry, and he hooked us out. I'm like, what? And we had to pay. He's like, well, you're gonna have to pay $99. And I'm like, what? And we ended up, we were in a place that was like, going for like, because it was a fight weekend, it was going for, $2,000 a night. We didn't even realize what the hell we had. We walked upstairs like, holy shit. The guy was a big deal. We're not going to talk about where or who he was a big deal with, but he was a big deal. He's a KC guy. He's not in the industry anymore. Too smart.
Ryan Carl didn't enjoy The Hangover because it's pretty much my entire life. Ryan, we're well aware, buddy. We're well aware.
Well, then, hey, there's been a handful of times where I've been able to experience something near your life, and, it's up there as one of those. Both those Vegas weekends are up in that mix. Cofield and I had one. We ain't telling this story either. But
here we go.
we had a pretty good time down at the San Diego Super Bowl, the Broncos Packers. There's some stories that came out of that trip. But January of '97,
He doesn't even remember him at this
No,
point.
I do. No, I do. First and last time there was like extensive talk about a rickshaw.
Rickshaw.
It really wasn't a rickshaw. It was one of those petty taxis in San Diego. But I always wanted it to be a rickshaw. You don't remember that part? You were making a request to go somewhere, and you were just on and on and on and on about getting on one of those petty bikes and making.
Is that where like one guy pedals like two people or something?
Yeah, you could probably. I mean, as fat as we are, probably max 2 guys.
We were fat back then. Back then we were in good shape.
Good point. Good point.
So
each week we're trying to pull.
The Pig was with us. The Pig was with us at times.
Sports Pig.
So yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
God
Rest in
bless
peace.
him.
Rest in peace.
We love him. We love him.
That was the hotel for the Super Bowl that was booked by our old company, Sports Fan Radio Network. They got on it late. They also had a budget. So I think we were staying in Point Loma, and the showers were really small, and Pig went to our boss because Pig was like this an amazing guy to manage because he was a crazy guy in the air. Just like
fantastic. Brilliant.
And he goes to Charlie Barker and he's like, I can't fit in the shower. This is ridiculous. And he
literally, I don't know your thing. He literally had to get out of the shower to turn around and then get back in the shower. He had to go from front to back. He had to get out of the shower. The showers were tiny.
They were tiny.
Because back then we were in shape, and I remember thinking, geez, like claustrophobic in here. He literally had to get out of the shower. I don't know how he did it. And it wasn't a bad location because I remember jogging down to yes, at one point I could jog. Jogging down to the piers, and I would go down to the piers and jog out on the pier and then out and around. So we were down by the water.
No, it's nice up there.
The shithole.
It's nice up there. The base was up there. It was actually active at that point. We could probably tell that story at some point.
Well, we may have made a U-turn and got the hell off a Marine base like it was nobody's business.
Met a nice young lady in distress, and we helped her out. We were heroic.
Tell that story. That story's okay. Driving home one night.
I don't know. We were driving home during Super Bowl week, and all of a sudden, there's this girl, probably 22 or something.
Soaking wet girl runs right out in front of the car, and we have to slam on the brakes to not hit her.
Sports Illustrated model.
I don't. It's been a long time. I can't remember. I mean, no.
I felt like she had big cans and she was nipping out, if I remember correctly. I don't remember details, but it was a sad story. Her story was that like she was running from her boyfriend, and I don't know.
She had an argument, and he left her.
Oh, he dropped her off.
Yeah, they were there, and I don't know. She had gotten in the ocean somehow.
Was she trying to swim home, or what? Did he push her in the water?
I don't know. She said there was an argument. Like, had she been accosted? I don't know. But we're like, all right, listen. Well, where are you going? Well, I live up here. We're like, okay, we'll give you a ride, right? Okay, so she gets in the car, and we're driving her and say, okay, up there, take a left, and we turn, and Steve's driving, as I recall, and she goes here, and we pull up to guys with guns, right? Marines with guns. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. We're done with this.
Get out.
You gotta go. You gotta go. Get out. We are out. Guys like, where are you going? Out. We are leaving. We are leaving here. She needed right here. We are out. We're not rolling into a Marine barracks with some, girlfriend of a guy who just had an argument with her. Bullshit.
So then Steve kept driving forward, right?
No. I'm like, it is that good.
I was like, blow through it.
She is home, and we are gone.
You crashed through that goddamn gate, Petro. Let's do the right thing and get her home.
We got the hell out of there. I was like, no, I am not driving into a Marine base with somebody's girlfriend. No.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good for you guys.
Pickle Gamer says if Kirk could have pieced the clues together as well as you were all piecing the story together, he would have been the first to find the treasure. So we're trying to teach you, buddy.
I'm not that smart.
On whatever I just said.
Yeah.
Petro's picks will be coming later. Stay tuned. We have a couple of things to get to. I heard was it Tuesday or Wednesday that I saved your radio show?
We got to it on Monday, I think, right? Because
really?
Wasn't he on with you Friday?
He was on with me Friday. It was Ross Tucker. He was on with you Friday too, as I found out.
Yeah, he was on with me Friday, and then apparently I don't know what happened. But we heard something happened, and I got a hold of the audio, and so we played it for the kicker, which is our last segment of the show. And I don't know. I mean, apparently Were you having a bad day, or I guess there's just that big a difference between the two of us, or what happened?
Yeah, he went at me.
Army's good. Army is real good.
Hold on a
They're
second.
good on offense. Why have they gotten so good in recent? Army's good. Army is.
I mean, I can't get more fired up about the Army Navy game than that.
No, you are excited.
So this is like 4 questions in. Everything's going well.
You and Ross Tucker.
Yep, it's Ross Tucker from Westwood One, former NFL player. He's sort of the color voice on CBS Army games. So yeah, we had him on. Petro had him on earlier in the day, but this is me talking because I study this stuff and I know college football. Army's good. Army's good. Here we go.
Army's good. Army is real good, and they're good on offense. Why have they gotten so good in recent times? I mean, I guess a lot of it's the coaching, right?
It is. Let me ask you this though, first, Steve, before I forget.
Yeah.
Are you really even into this interview?
Totally. Yeah. Why?
Well, because the guy I was with in the last interview I did, some guy named Soren, he's just way, way better than you. Way better than you.
Whoa.
I was actually gonna.
What a compliment.
Soren, and it just
Yep.
he asked better questions.
That
he just
son of a
seemed
bitch.
more motivated than
Yeah.
you. I don't know what the deal is, but clearly this Soren guy is better than you are.
He's a fraud. He's a fraud. That was awesome.
So, Steve, as you might imagine, he asked me a huge favor to do that.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
That part's total BS.
Anyway, to answer your question,
That's
He-
no idea what he's talking about. There at the end.
He could have played that out for so much longer and gotten me. He really could have had me freaking hanging out to dry for like 45 seconds, but he gave it up too early.
No, I mean he did the proper amount, right?
No, annihilate me on the air. Embarrass me in front of my audience. Make me hang up on you.
So
Whoa.
it's now a drop we play going to break. Right? Like it's him chastising you. We play it, you head out the same way. I would come back, we'll, hear what Patrick Mahomes had to say about this or that or whatever. And he goes, yeah, you're listening to the program. The guy I was on with before, his name's like Soren Petro, who's way better than you.
That was good. It was a good setup. It was a really good setup.
Did you go back and listen to how I got it done?
I didn't. I need to go back. You know what? I need to pull
I
it up.
set it up on the air. It wasn't like some off the air thing.
Yeah.
So I think it was. I get done with the Final Four, or maybe it's during the Final Four, before or whatever. I said, hey, listen, I know you're busy. You got a lot of things going on. Real quick, I got to ask you a favor. I know you're going on next with Steve Cofield in Vegas because you and I had talked about what times we had him. Said, I know you're going on with Steve Cofield in Vegas next. Do me a favor. When you go on, be like, dude, like, the guy I was just on with is way better than you. Like, are you even trying on this thing? And he goes, no, I can't do that. I go, no, you got to do it. You got to do it. And he goes, was he a friend of yours? Like, do you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's a friend. And I thought about it later. I'm like, I should have said, yeah, he was in my wedding. I think he's a friend. And so to his credit, I didn't know if he was going to do it. He sounded kind of wishy-washy, like on whether or not he was going to do it, but he did it. Friggin' awesome.
It was good. It was good. I told you last week. I'm surprised that more people don't do stuff like that when hosts are lame, because there's a lot like Ross was on a radio tour, and at some point you're like, this fucking guy who's talking to me doesn't even give a shit about the interview, because a lot of people take interviews and they're like, yeah, we'll do the Army Navy game. I'll do you a favor. Like, no, don't do it if you don't want to do it.
Right.
So that should happen more often. Where we're like, you know what, you're not into this. Goodbye.
But I will tell you, the Army Navy game, and I had a chance to go out there last year for the first time, and I think we all have an appreciation for it. I hope we all have an appreciation for it. But having been out there to the game and seen the spectacle, and USAA, we'll throw some love to them. What a fantastic company! What great hosts! Their passion, obviously, what they do is insurance for military people. So it's their people, right? But they are all in on the game, and their passion and their ability. I'm not eligible, right? Because I'm a chicken shit. I don't know what just wasn't in the military. But I have such an appreciation for that company and how well they ran everything and how organized. I mean, they are. You could tell in so many guys, all the guys in there are like ex-military guys, and you could tell that they've been around military precision, because everything about that weekend when you go out there and cover that thing is run military style. Like they're not like hard asses, but it's so efficient. And so like, hey, we'll have a bus here at this time. We'll have another one at this time, another one at this time. We're going to go here, here, and here. It's phenomenal. And it just makes the experience of what is one of the great games awesome. And I think Ross does a great job. And he's a fun guy. Hopefully we'll all be there in New York next year. So you got to go. You got to do whatever it takes. I know it sucks for your time slot, but whether you tape the whole show and then are done, like you have to go to that. I do believe it. And anyone who's listening to us, it's a bucket list thing. Like if you get a chance to go and get into the stadium when they march in if you can. I'm not sure if everyone can. But when they march in and the shit talk that goes on between the cadets, holy cow, man. You're like, oh, okay. You think about a rivalry and you're like, oh, I know everybody says go Army beat Navy or go Navy beat Army, whatever. Man, you watch those cadets get after each other. I'll send you some videos sometime about like as they're coming off and scuffing up the names on there. It's phenomenal.
I'm in. You don't have to sell me. I'm in.
Steve and I'll go next year.
Well, it's in New York, so I know Steve will go. He's got to go see family.
Yeah,
We'll go to a Jets game too.
A free trip to see your family?
Come on, Steve.
I'm in. I already said I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. I mean, more important to my family, if I get to go see and, just lay eyes on Trevor Lawrence on the Jets. Oh, God. Exhilarating.
I want to meet your family, too. Okay, no, that's all right. Just...
One of the great.
I mean, actually, it would be a good trip because believe it or not, my family actually lives like 8 miles away from where they filmed Jersey Shore. So they're down by Seaside now, but Seaside is.
I've been down to Seaside. My buddy used to run a house for the summer in Seaside, about 8 guys in like a 2-bedroom house. Yeah, I've been down there.
It's a little bit of a drive from New York, but yeah, we could do it.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. My parents usually like any broad I bring home or any friend I bring home more than me anyway. So maybe you can be a buffer. You can be a buffer. My mother won't be like, you never come back. Glad you're here, but it could have been 6 times since the last time we saw you. I'm like,
you don't go home much because I saw your parents once. I met your parents once. They came out to Vegas when I was living out there.
Well, I used to go home all the time. I actually did the work trips all the time because UFC was out there, and I used to do a lot of boxing in Atlantic City. But times change.
Yeah, you can't be bothered.
Is there still a Delhi connection?
or you can't be bothered. Goddamn coronavirus! 5 years. What are you gonna do?
You haven't been there for 5 years?
Dude, it might be longer than that. It's been forever. It's ridiculous.
How about just give me the address and I'll show up, and I'll say, hey, I'm his buddy.
Oh yeah. I got a freaking tongue lashing like 3 phone calls back where she's like, "Your father's gonna be dead." I'm like, what just happened? Like, fucking calm down. I was like, yes, mother. It was like the third miser.
Yeah.
Heat miser, cold miser, and fucking chunky miser. Lord ass miser.
It's real similar for me. Yeah.
Carb miser.
I see my mom like every 7 minutes. Like, well, during normal times when I get here, when it's not a pandemic going on, she's running out to do something with the grandkids. She could give a shit about me, but comes out to see the kids, like, picking them up from school, volunteering at the school, doing lunches, anything for the grandkids. Yeah, she's all over it.
Love Mama Pet.
She's the best.
So I got a lot more to get to in a bit, but you want to do some football picks?
Sure, let's do it.
So coming up later on is my favorite piece of audio, and it actually it has to do with this is a tease, and everyone will drop off, but it has to do with Christmas shopping, but especially Christmas shopping for your friends. Well, let's go even further. Your staff. So we'll find out if Petro buys his guys anything, and if it's anything of value, and it's anything they actually like. Wow, that was it.
Am I supposed to respond right now?
I don't know. You're right. That a good tease is just to leave everyone hanging.
Is it the current topic or is it a tease? I mean,
it's a tease. But I was also in my producer duties. I was also punching up the football pick, so I needed like 4 seconds there. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, we were gonna have Jed produce the show. It turns out he's too high by the time we get started. So,
no comment.
Oh, dude, I'm kind of tired. Yeah, you're kind of tired. Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, my mother impression and the stories, I deserve every bit of it. So, as Petro knows, I am kind of clunty.
We today we had we played the feud, and there was a question: what do you keep in a safe? Right? And somebody put in Jed keeps his weed in there. He's like, oh God, no, it's on the coffee table. I'm not going over to a safe again.
Wow. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, Midwest values go out the window. I'm sure your audience is shocked by Jed's disgustingness, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever floats his boat. As long as he's not hurting anybody, I don't care what he does.
We have all on our staff. We have all old, broken down people, or they're struggling with. I won't make a joke about that, but they're all struggling here and there, so they need it to be met. It helps them.
Yes. Okay. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. What's your
SuperCon? I actually, if I take it or when I take it, I actually need to fucking chill out. That's my thing. I need to just disappear. And yes, I know. Okay. It's a rough life. It's a rough life I lead with no responsibilities.
I hear you. Yeah, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure having no responsibilities.
It's a treasure hunt.
Hey, every day I come home. Actually, I don't leave home anymore. But every day I walk out after the show, and that Snoopy inflatable is laying on the ground. It drives me nuts.
Shit's not going to inflate itself, man. It's not going to inflate itself. I hear you.
Got to wash like 3 dishes. They're just sitting there all day. It's infuriating.
I got the commute home, walking up the stairs. It's a bitch, man.
Yeah, life's good. Thursday night game, and then we got Saturday game. So we got to figure out if we want to play Saturday game. So the deadline is not 6 p.m.
By the way, are you aware that I think we're like 14 and how many weeks we had now? What, 13, 14 weeks? We're probably 12-2 on Thursday nights, and we haven't played it once because we don't want to put the other ones in. But have you noticed we always nail Thursday?
I guess. I wish we tracked it. I'll go back and track it. That would be interesting. I have a feeling it's really 6-6, and you're just building it up. But
I'm telling you, we do well on Thursday.
All right, so what are you going to do? We're not going to put this in the super contest, but
why?
What are you doing? Because I don't like putting the other 4 in.
Why?
Because
go well waiting.
Because COVID is a bastard, and you can get screwed on Saturday. Find out that there's no quarterback on your pick when you pick the Broncos.
Ooh.
That happened to us anyway.
Now that said, it's 1 pick out of 70, so maybe I'm overdoing it.
It happened to us anyway.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Raiders, Packers, Broncos, Colts, Lions, Jets. No, I'm just kidding. Raiders, Chargers. Chargers are dead men walking, aren't they? Raiders -3. I don't know why it's only 3, but I think Herbert's been found out. I'll take the Raiders.
It actually went down. It actually went down today. It went once we found out that 4 starters are missing from the Raiders defense. Went down from 3.5 to 3.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it matters. I'll take the Raiders. Well, what's left for the Chargers to play for?
I don't know. I guess you tell that they're fighting for their coach's life. I don't know if they are.
I don't know. They made their little hurrah last week. I don't see them putting anything together. I'll take the Raiders. I like the play.
Chat room. Bake 0905 says all day LAC +3 all day.
Yeah, but everybody's a Raider hater in Vegas. Like nobody thinks anything of the Raiders.
Well, we don't have Raiders fans here, not many, and I think everyone's being affected by the uneven play of the Raiders and also the shit show that's gone on all year with the COVID stuff. So people are kind of reluctant to jump on the bandwagon because every time they get excited, the Raiders have slipped. So
okay, Packers, Panthers. Who do you like?
Well, we were on the Packers last week and we couldn't get it. That doesn't have anything to do with this week.
Well, we were on the right side.
We could have gone 5-0, but we didn't. We went 3-2 because we'll get to what your Chiefs are doing with the non-covers and not pressing on the gas pedal and snapping necks to finish off these games.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Let's go, man.
So 30. Well, we'll get to that. Let's just get to that with the Chiefs. All right. So what do you like on the Packers?
I would take the Panthers.
I would take the Packers. I think it's favorite season, and we went 3-2 with 5 favorites, and we very easily could have gone 5-0. And I do think, and I never like to be 5 favorites, right? Sucks. And I even said that to you after we got it done. I'm like, oh shit, we got 5 favorites. That's a problem. And it was. I mean, but we did go 3-2. So I think 5 favorites will probably go 3-2 the rest of the way. I mean, I do think teams start to check out. Now, I don't think it's as easy as, well, they have nothing to play for. So-and-so's got to have it. Like, that bullshit doesn't live.
Yeah.
But, I do think the favorites start to come home. If Carolina gets up and gets going, okay, they'll hang around. But if they get down early, they're out of the fight.
Yeah, and the Packers now, they had something to play for anyway, but now that the Saints faltered, the Packers really have something to play for. And I don't know what was going on with the Panthers last week. Maybe they felt like the season was over because, and it really is, but because McCaffrey, they lose McCaffrey again. But yeah, losing at home to the Broncos, I don't get it. So not a good sign. I love the next game. Love the next game. Come on. I just mentioned the Broncos, right?
You love the Broncos.
Bills 6.5. I can do the lead-in, you son of a bitch. Broncos plus 6.5. This is a 1,000,000,000% a Broncos spot. It's on the road. It's a freaking, and I will use this a lot more in college football, but come on. The Bills have to deal with prosperity here. It's a sandwich game. This is going to be
next. Do they have Miami next, or what are they?
They have Miami. No, they have the Patriots next at New England, which is an emotional spot because they generally have just been shit against the Patriots. So I'll take the
look ahead. It's a total trap game.
Yep,
I agree.
Yep. So I'll take the Broncos plus 6.5.
I'm with the Broncos.
Oh,
I don't love it. I don't love it, but I'm with the
Let's put in that pick tomorrow, get it signed, sealed, and delivered, and then we'll see Kendall Hinton get game number 2 at quarterback. As they don't learn their lesson, and all the guys are hanging out with mask or no mask again. Texans plus 7 against the Colts. Colts came in here and freaking smacked around the Raiders. Phil Rivers played well. Texans laid an egg. Where are we going?
Where did the Texans lay an egg? I forgot. It was 20-6 or something. Where was it?
Chicago, if I'm correct. Do I have the wrong game? Where were they?
No, I think is that right?
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. It was the Bears.
And they were down freaking big in that one. They were always down big because they lost 36-7, so there was no comeback.
Romeo Crennel, sweetheart of a guy, boob as a coach. Frank Reich can coach. Rivers is managing the game. Like the defensive personnel. 2 head running backs. Everybody should be on the Colts. I probably lean to the Texans, but I don't love it.
Really?
I think the whole world's on the Colts.
All right.
Who's jumping on the Texans?
I'm not. No, I would lay the points with the Colts. So.
And I don't hate
But I get
that.
your point.
I could look at it like, I don't like that the Texans were all not all, 6 or 7 of them, which there may be some suspensions coming or some fines. 6 or 7 of them were out at a restaurant, like a cheesesteak restaurant opening that Deshaun Watson's the owner of. That, and you're not supposed to congregate with more than 3.
Yep.
If they went there and they're like, well, we wore masks and we were 6 feet apart. Yeah, but the rule is no more than 3 players anywhere. Right? So that means, what is Romeo Crennel and his staff's attention to detail? Dog shit. So from that standpoint, it should be the Colts by 50. And so we may be on the Colts, but from the other standpoint is the Texans do have a quarterback, and any team that has a real quarterback getting 7 points in the NFL is not a bad play. So it's kind of an intriguing matchup. I don't know.
Matt Stafford with some health issues. I like the Titans. No, I like the Titans.
Yeah, of course you play the Titans or you don't play it, but it's a lot of points.
I'm not playing the Titans. That's my problem. So
I don't know. The Lions are shit.
I don't trust the Titans to freaking blow them out.
The Lions are a bad team. Rams or don't play it. I don't even want to talk about it. Don't give me any shit about the Jets.
Best value play of the week. Jets, up and down team, but man, they play hard some weeks. They'll
Was
cover.
it last week that they play hard?
No, they did
It's
not.
the first game.
Okay.
No. But we mentioned last week it was a terrible spot off of the Greg Williams blitz and that emotional loss that they were going to go all the way across the country and just shit the bed.
Yeah,
But I agree with you. I'm not playing the Jets down the stretch. I can't even get involved on Jets games. Like, this is the ultimate head versus heart thing. I already told everyone I'm basically going to off myself if they win a game here. So
Well, I'm still alive in a suicide pool where we're now having to pick 2 teams every week, and this week's going to be tough. But we've settled into where we've created a scenario where we have the Jags and Jets opponents most of the time the rest of the way.
Wow.
And that's what we've lived on for about 2 or 3 weeks. And now, trust me, we had the Vikes in overtime over the Jags to get by. I think that was one of the first weeks, maybe the second week, that we had to have 2 games that we have to win. And we're down. There was, I think, 10,000 or so entries at $100 entry. And we're down to, I think, just under 500 now. So, and I think 100, it pays 100 deep, I want to say. We can kind of spell it, but, if you can move opposite Jets, you do it. They're going 0-16. Now, I think we've already used whoever they're playing. So,
Who else feels good about the Falcons? +6 against the Buccaneers. Who else feels good?
I did for from 2018 to midway through 2019. Then I pulled my head out of my ass, and I said the Falcons are just absolute cancer, and I don't touch the Falcons. But 6 points, I love a 6-point tease down line. I love a 5.5 point dog. Love a 5.5 point dog. I would way rather bet a 5.5 dog than a 4.5 dog. Right? A 4.5 dog, I think, is going to get its ass kicked. A 5.5 dog, I think, is going to win outright. So I like the number because it means Vegas isn't in on the Bucks, but I can't bet the Bucks. No way. Although Raheem Morris, guys like to play for Raheem Morris, so they're going to bring it. Matt, the dirty secret is Matt Ryan is like a good, he does some fantasy numbers, but the throws he's got to make, he can't make anymore.
I'm all over the Dolphins. -2 against the Patriots. Everyone's betting the Patriots.
Dolphins.
Yep. You get back on the Dolphins when the numbers are depressed or they're a dog.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed.
I mean, you got, even though it's on the road, don't you have to play the Seahawks against football team? Playing 5? Al Smith, very iffy. Dwayne Haskins back in there.
Again, here I am in my 5.5 range. I generally love them, but I do agree. I think Washington's getting way too much hype right now. They're winning games where they're being grossly outgained because they're winning off turnovers, and turnovers are not sustainable. So, yes, I like the Seahawks.
No scoop and score from the hands of Russ, as we saw last week with the football team.
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't win with your defensive line every week anymore in the modern NFL.
Who's fired up about the Bears? +3 against the Vikings. Sorry, I couldn't finish it.
I actually am. I'll take him.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I actually think Matt Nagy, and we did a thing today, 5 years from now, we predicted who will be the coach of all the local teams. So that was Sporting, Royals, Chiefs, KU, K-State, Missouri, football and basketball, so 9 coaches. And I said 5 years from now, it'll be Andy Reid, right? Barring health issues. I think he's a coach till he dies or just physically can't do it type of guy, And so, but I said, if it's not him, I think it'll be Matt Nagy that ends up coaching the Chiefs. Because I think at some point he'll get fired by the Bears because he doesn't have a quarterback. And so, when he gets fired, but I think Bill Belichick got fired by the Browns because he didn't have a quarterback. That shit happens. And so I think Matt Nagy, I will maintain that. I believe he is a really good coach. He's a good let me put it this way. I think he's a really good offensive mind. We saw he had Mitchell Trubisky going this past week. But I think you got to have a quarterback. The quarterback's the most important thing. Then the next most important thing is the coach. And so, listen, they ran out the 5-1 for a reason. They're in the wash, which is 6-10 to 10-6. And so when the schedule smiles on them, they can do some things. The Vikings are playing better, but why is it only 3? I like the Bears in this spot.
All right. Going to Willie. I'd be more on the Vikings, but
I know you would.
It's probably a stay away for me because, again, you got to play the Vikings when there's some value on the number. There's not much value here. This is a good point by Willie. The rookie quarterback factor, Tua against Belichick, and Belichick's been amazing against rookie quarterbacks.
That is a great point.
And he did it to Herbert and the Chargers badly with a 45-0 win just a couple weeks ago.
And he beat Mahomes twice. And there's actually a stat in quarterback's first 2 years, because Mahomes was not a rookie, but first-year starter. And so, yes, that is a great point. That's a reason to not be on the Dolphins. Although I also think the whole world knows that stat. And when the whole world starts to jump on that, then Vegas is tweaking the number based on that. Like, I think this number should be more. I think the Dolphins should be favored by more. It's like the Dolphins are real. And I think Tua's real. I mean, Tua threw against the Chiefs when he had to throw, and he moved the ball, and he got points, and he brought him back into the game. So I think you're getting a diet number because of that. So I might wait out there and still take the Dolphins, but that's a really strong point.
Trees at ODB with a comment for Petro. You still think Nagy is a good coach? Laugh my ass off.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. There's lots. I mean, I told everybody Andy Reid can manage the clock. Andy Reid can win big games. Before he had Patrick Mahomes, I said the key is to have a quarterback. If you want to have a good game manager, you want to have somebody coach who's good with the clock. Get him a Hall of Fame quarterback. If you don't have it, you're not going to be good, because it's impossible. Because I've watched every single game of Alex Smith with the Chiefs, and I watched all the Donovan McNabb games. And when you have a minute 57 and one timeout, and your quarterback runs for 4 yards and 30 seconds ticks off, and then he takes the check down to the running back, and another 30 seconds ticks off. Meanwhile, there were receivers down the field that the quarterback didn't throw the ball to. That's not because the coach can't figure it out. All right, Mitchell Trubisky sucks. Nick Foles can get hot. Nick Foles is Ryan Fitzpatrick, or maybe Diet Fitzpatrick. He can be hot. When he's hot, he's as good as anyone gets. Right? If he's cold, he sucks. And he's not mentally strong. So when it starts going to shit, he can't turn it around. And so that's what he's got at quarterback. And so no one's going to look good. Every coach will get shit canned if they don't have a quarterback. Is Nick Saban a jackass? Well, he couldn't win with the Dolphins. Right? Do you think he doesn't know how to coach? Had he signed Drew Brees, which they kicked the tires on, and decided, we'll gamble on Dante Culpepper's knee over Drew Brees' shoulders. Nick Saban would have 4 Super Bowl championships. Bill Belichick could have 2 or 3 less. I mean, I'm sorry, the quarterback means so much. And so firing a bunch of guys because they don't have quarterbacks, that's great. And there are times that organizations have to go, it's not going to work with this guy, and they fire him. If not him, then who? And when the fan base says anybody, you have to make a move. But nobody, like the only guys that have won without quarterbacks consistently in the NFL, Marty Schottenheimer, Chuck Knox, Andy Reid before he got Patrick Mahomes. Who else? Who else has been a consistent winner in the NFL without quarterbacks? Joe Gibbs, the greatest, without a quarterback. Otherwise, they all get shit canned. They all. John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has never had a great passer. He had a great running MVP, and Lamar Jackson deserved that award, but he can't spin it. When they're down, they're done. Right? So you take a look around and you tell me the coach that kicked everybody's ass with a shit quarterback. It's impossible. It doesn't work. So spare me. You have no idea what Matt Nagy will be if he has a real quarterback.
Ravens, Jaguars, 12.5. My only angle on this one is we'll go through the room here. We'll start with Kirk. Wow, okay. I was actually getting to a question about pressure. I mentioned your name and you almost choked to death. You did a spit take.
Holy shit, they're coming to me.
6 minutes left in an NFL game. You have the shits. It's unbearable.
Dude, what kind
of shitter are you? Can you be a rapid shitter? Because if I went to the locker room in that situation, I'd be done for the game. I am not built for speed when it comes to taking a dump.
I'm precise and I get it done fast.
I like.
It's also why I don't go to the bathroom at like bars and public places, because I know I'm going to be in the stall for a while, and then I will start getting anxiety and nervous. Like the game would be over. Trace McSorley would have fallen short. I may have cost us the playoffs because I can't get a shit out quickly.
Last Thursday, I got hit with something, right? Like, I don't know what it was, something I ate or what. And I was like, holy cow, I had to start texting like, you're gonna have to take this. And it was during Stump the Chumps, and I had to bail out. And I tend to be more like you, Steve. I was so thrilled. I bailed out like 4 minutes before the break, and I was back for the next segment.
Wow, good for you. I don't know that I could do that.
And that segment when we do Stump the Chumps for people who, not in KC, we have like 5 guys. So like Lebo was there, Curtis was there. There were plenty of guys to run it. And nobody said anything. I just all of a sudden wasn't talking for like the last 5 minutes of the segment. I got hit with something. I was like, Lebo, Curtis, you're going to have to take this. I'm out.
This is a great comment because this is a big problem. I got to drink more water. I am all locked up. I am locked up all the time.
Water is good.
Weird comment here from Trees and ODB. I don't trust people who rush their dumps. I'd never thought about that. I don't. I'll tell you what, I don't want to be around them to smell them. I don't think you got it all out.
Well, in a public locale, could you throw a courtesy flush in there? Like, it don't cost nothing.
Right. Well, I mean,
you're there to do business. You take care of your business, and then you're out. That's my policy.
I like.
So the sooner the better.
Everybody, but I think Steve, you and I to an extreme. Home field shitter.
Yep. And the thing is, I'm so used to, like, when I go in, and I don't really have to escape from anything, but I know if you're a guy with a family, I mean, you're maxing out 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You're reading, you're texting. I hope you're washing your hands a lot. You're spending the alone time, and no one's in a hurry. So then your body all of a sudden is like, you got to go right now, and it's got to be 3 minutes. Your body's like, what the fuck? I'm not used to this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
God bless. He's going to get better as a thrower, but some of the intangibles Lamar Jackson has in a distressed situation, that guy gets it done. Congrats to him.
By the way, can I tell you, I love how it looks like Cameron's wearing your hat when you. Lamar Jackson will get better as a passer, and probably in his 30s there'll be a Randall Cunningham like get onto a team as a backup, but like right now, like when the true mark of great quarterbacks are the guy who, when the other team knows he has to throw, can still throw and win. And to me, that's why I'm a Tua fan, because Tua did that against Kansas City last week. They knew he had to throw, and he still threw and won. And they didn't win, but he still threw and succeeded, got touchdowns, and got him back in the game.
Trees and ODB says taking a shit is the last bastion because we've lost everything else. We have no freedom anymore. These fucking masks they've taken everything from us.
I will say that when I was in Italy one time, I had to do something, and the flushers over there just didn't work quite as good. So when I see the American freedom there, it was kind of like I did my thing, and then there was going to be a present for the next guy.
How much harder is it in Italy because the Cokes are warm too?
Yeah, no ice. No ice. You're just like, I need a Coke. I need a big gulp. I need something.
How can you take a dump with a warm Coke in your hand? That's not
right. And it's like 100 degrees out.
Let's go back for a second here, because as Petro and I telling our stories may be a perfect example of first world problems.
Right.
If, like, Kirk has traveled all over the world, Kirk, I'm sure you've taken shits in just holes on the floor.
Yeah, you stand there. No, literally. There are places where there's a hole.
Yeah,
like two spots for 2 feet, and that's it.
If you got in late, Kirk has been to how many countries? 49.
Yeah, 49.
49 countries, but he doesn't go and stay in 5-star hotels. He goes and stays in hostels, and then he meets people around the world, and they invite him to their house. So like,
yeah, mistake number 1, because I'll be there.
Right, I know shit. Like I found that out a long time ago.
All right, real quick. Let me start the timer. I'm replicating going in a hole, and I'm squatting, but it's like a half squat. Let me see how long I can go. But you guys keep talking.
Okay. So you go for it. So what I'm curious is, like, do you just go bomb some poor Dutch couples? Because they have little houses over there, right? Everybody in Europe has little houses.
Right, and the plumbing is ancient plumbing. It's not all the new stuff.
Wooden shoes and shit.
That happens, Steve. Sometimes that happens. So,
all right, that was it.
I was in Greece, and they're like, I was staying at a hotel, and they're like, hey, by the way, if you're going to do that, you can't flush any of the toilet paper down the toilet. I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? They're like, we'll wipe it and then stick it in this little box next to you.
Oh my lord!
And I'm like, no. And they said the only place that we could do that is the main hotel lobby. So that's where I went. I'm not gonna have the toilet paper.
I've never been to Europe. I want to go to Europe. I am not going to Europe where I got to stick a dookie, toilet paper in a box like that. That's not happening.
That's why I'm proficient.
I'll never see Europe.
I'm ready to go.
If I can't afford like a hotel that's got a real toilet, then I ain't going to Europe.
And then they try to spin the old bidets on you. You're like, oh, this cleans it. No. Let's just my way.
My buddy Jason, who's a contractor, said, does work for old people. He's like, I'm telling you, everybody needs a bidet. When you get old, you're going to need a bidet.
Well, maybe
2-in-1 bidet toilet combo. Plan on getting the bidet, or it's going to be some tough living.
Why is that? Is it flexibility? Is it getting into that squat position to wipe and you just can't do it when you get old?
I guess. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe he likes, maybe that's his thing. I don't know.
We I will tell you, this audience, because I think we talk about crapping a lot. This audience is fucking loves bidets. Like every crapping story I tell, everyone's like, bidet, bidet, bidet. I'm like, all right.
Why don't you change the name of the show to Cofield and Bidet?
Right. I have to redesign the bathrooms to just, install a bidet. I need a little more room.
And then sometimes you get the bathrooms where you got the shower and the toilet right there. All goes down the same hole. And you're just okay.
Listen, you're not helping your situation.
Oh, by the way, this is why when we've talked about the toilet paper shortage, the runs on toilet paper, that's when I get the bidet stuff. And these guys are like, dude, enough with the toilet paper. Get the bidet.
So, are you good with toilet paper if they would shut you down?
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm always good, yeah. I hoard. I have everything.
100%. 100%.
I've got enough in my Tahoe right now.
And I will for the rest of my life. I will never not be like 5 jumbo Costco Charmin things. Never will I let it go low. Ever.
Yep.
There was a hint of fear early on in the pandemic. And I'm like, this is not like whatever it takes to build up the stock.
Yep. Well, there you go. That was the Ravens and Jaguars pick.
Okay, there it is. We nailed it.
That was it. Apparently, we weren't very interested in picking a side. Browns and Giants. Well, look at that. I'm getting all the weird multiples out there. Nice. Browns and Giants.
Browns and Giants. Hang on.
Doubled up the screen.
Okay. What do we got? I had a plug in. I forgot I had my printer plugged in and not the power cord. So it's like, yeah, you got about 7 seconds. Plug it in.
I'm sorry. Browns and Giants 4.5.
Where? Why can't you get the screen up, Steve?
I don't know. It's weird.
Multitask.
Get that chartreuse bait screen off there, whatever that thing's called.
That's when he fell down and just.
I'm probably on the Giants.
Me too.
I don't think there's a lot of difference between the Giants and Browns. I always say 6-10 to 10-6, same teams. Like the Browns everyone's excited because they got close. Like, slow down, calm down. So I kind of lean to the Giants, and I honestly would think about a money line play. I think if they're going to cover, they're going to win.
I love this Eagles Cards line just from the chatting standpoint. Can I just go with the first angle though?
Well, you always love the Eagles the Falcons and Eagles every freaking week.
I love the storylines. One, Doug Peterson's intent last week was to go, fuck you, everybody. Wentz is my guy, but I'm going to show you that Wentz is not the issue. We're going to roll out Jalen Hurts. And then Jalen Hurts shoved it right up his ass. He did. Now, teams have film on Jalen Hurts. They kind of see his limitations and his strengths. I don't want to lay 6 points with the Cardinals, but I will stay away from the Eagles. Can I go back to something you've said repeatedly about Doug Peterson? Like, I don't know if you want to officially say it, but you've talked about his work ethic, right? And that he lacks discipline off the field.
I have.
Are we just going with the? No. Or is that what we're talking about? No. Or is he a party guy? Is he just not a worker?
I can't. I just know that there were stories, and I brought it up on the air, and everybody got pissed when I brought up when he gone to Philadelphia that like, hey, here's the reason why, and just I mean, like Andy Reid, I think is in his office or his bedroom at home, and that's it, right? And so like Doug Peterson, he's a great guy. I enjoy talking to him. But I don't know that if the stories that are out there are true, right? Then you're not 100% locked in on what the big picture is.
Are we talking about a story that's like similar to what I said earlier about me in boxer briefs? Is it something like that?
I'm not going any further.
All right. I'm just trying to get the clues out of you.
I'm just saying, like, yes, I think Doug Peterson. Well, first of all, there's evidence that he hasn't won since Frank Reich left, right? So, I think that's of note. But yeah, I mean, I think there are questions, right, about sustaining what's going on. I mean, yeah, there are questions.
Okay. So give me a pick on the game.
I like the 6-point
Eagles
dog.
+6.
I like the 6-point dogs. Eagles
Wow.
got a little taste of winning and success. I'm not a huge believer in Hurts, so I'm on the Cardinals.
All right.
I don't believe Hurts is going to be a legitimate NFL starter.
Okay.
So I think, and they won. He ran for 100 yards. Is that the recipe for winning? I mean, he's not Lamar Jackson as a runner. He's a good runner, but he's not going to run for 100 yards all the time, and so then he's going to have to throw it. And no, I'll take the Cardinals.
All right. Will the Chiefs ever cover again? I'm sick of it. They're 3 against the Saints.
The Chiefs will unleash the fury in New Orleans and win big.
What if Drew Brees is back?
I don't care.
Wow.
The fury.
All right. That sounds like a more than a lean. That's a like.
So they were up 30-10. Was that what it was? Yeah, 30-10 on the Dolphins.
Yep.
And Patrick Mahomes threw like 28 yards into the end zone, and there was an incredible interception made by Howard. So it wasn't from a lack of trying, like you just said, like, find the throat, right? Which is Eric Eager from PFF's statement that he's talked about in years past. And again, I'll come back, like finding the throat gets easier when you have Patrick Mahomes. He was going for the throat, and they got an INT and went back the other way, and that started their comeback. In their last 23 plays, they threw it 13 times, right? So give the Dolphins some credit. It's one of the reasons to like the Dolphins. They're a good team, and Tua is a good, and I think going to end up being a very good, if not great quarterback when it's all said and done, because he did a lot of things that were right. Against the Bucs, they had the Bucs way down, right? They had them down, 27-10, I think, at one point. When the Bucs came into it, they've been there ready to blow it open. They've been like one play away from finishing it. I think they finished it against the Saints. I've said it a million times. Patrick Mahomes, 9 losses. 8 of those 9 losses, the opposition scored 31 points. Taysom Hill is not getting to 31 points.
I'm still on the Chiefs. I was lying.
Okay.
They'll cover. Niners Cowboys. I have no idea. I'm a Niners whore, but I'm kind of tired of the effort lately, and I certainly don't trust the Cowboys.
No, I agree. I don't know what you're going to get from the Niners, So no, I'm out.
And I don't. I mean, are the Steelers going to be super angry now? They're going to go out and just blow the doors off of the Bengals. Now, keep in mind, Bengals have lost 5 in a row now, and they've had one of the losses inside of 11 points. Every other game has been just an absolute.
The Bengals are unplayable. No quarterback, no play, so you can't play the Bengals the rest of the way. So it's Steelers or bust, and I do kind of like the Steelers to get it done.
All right. Let's turn our attention to Christmas. As people heard on Cofield and Company today, I'm very pro Santa. You say Santa's fake, I'll fuck you up. Unless you're a client, and then I'll be sort of polite but bust your balls like Justin Watkins. I love giving gifts. I really do. Like people think, bitter old.
I've never gotten one from you.
Bitter old clunt. The mail.
Even at my wedding, I don't think we got a gift from you.
I don't know about that.
You said I'll take care of it later.
I may have thrown you a 50 spot on a wedding that was not a $50 a plate. I guess it would be $25 a plate.
I remember that wedding.
I think I gave you something. I don't know. I owe you on that one. So I love giving gifts. I really do. Right. Yeah. And I especially like it on Cofield and Company because most of the staff hates gifts. It's this weird twist from these guys who are really bitter because they look at gifts and they're like, God damn it. Now I got to reciprocate. Now I have to go shopping. And I always tell them, like, you don't have to get me anything. All right. It's just a thanks for the year. Enjoy the gift. But of course, I work with fucking Charlie Brown. So Adam Hill. So, you know, it's funny. I was watching Charlie Brown Christmas last night and the open. They're like, why is everything negative with you? Right. How do you ruin Christmas? Like the line was, you know, you're the Charlie Browniest Charlie Brown in the world. Right. So he's the Adam Hilliest Adam Hill in the world. They're getting gifts. You're going to take a goddamn gift. Right.
Right.
Do you give your staff gifts? Do you care about them? Do you think about them? I want to ask the room of Kansas City people here. What should Petro get for his guys? Because you listen to these guys, because this is the other thing. Just don't give them something ordinary, right? Here's some socks, right? I want a personalized gift. I listen to you, my friends. I pay attention to you. I'll go as far as saying, I love you for the job you do. So let's go, Petro.
Mugs.
Mugs. Mugs.
A picture of Soren on a mug. There you go.
No, I no.
You know how much it will mean if you get a personalized.
I give gifts. I don't give. No.
If you give something personalized, you're like, you know.
Don't you normally do the Christmas dinner though for them and stuff?
Well,
that's nice.
Yes. I mean, yes, we usually do a Christmas dinner, and I spring for the dinner, right, in a nice place. And I have given gifts in the past.
Here's a simple one. Do you know where they like to eat? Each one of them. Easy, right? But they'll think about it. Petro went out during COVID and got me a gift card about a restaurant I talked about in March. Like, I take notes all year. I don't even know what to get these guys. I have so many options. I pay attention. I listen.
You know what I do. I do what I do.
All right.
I like to bring barbecue to you. Right? You still have barbecue sauce? The good stuff?
Which one? Me or Petro?
You.
Oh, I have so much. It's amazing. I had chicken fingers today with one of your barbecue sauces.
Yeah. So yes.
Is this true?
What's that?
Here are Chiefs tickets. Here you go.
She has no interest. That's why I finally got rid of my tickets. Mm. I listened. I bought them all good since like last week.
That's nice.
See, like unlike Steve, it's not just this one monumental moment, like at the end of the year where he listens and he goes out and buys $9 worth of shit for him. Okay, like there are lunches that are sprung for by me year round.
That is nice.
Year round. I'm the gift that keeps on giving. I'm like Steve's tight ass who then wants to, have 3 spotlights put on him because he heard that, Adam likes Madden. And so he went out and got him a T-shirt that says Madden Champ. Didn't even spring for the Madden because that's too expensive. Get him a T-shirt that says Madden Champ.
I feel like you're very defensive now. I don't know what's going on. It's supposed to be a nice, happy conversation. I wasn't being accusatory.
I think you were. You were up. You were leaning in. You spent the whole show like this.
Yeah.
And then you're up like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you get him? Kicking your ass. That's when we get you.
The table's turned on to me real quickly.
Boxer wearing no shirt, having ass.
Yeah. Let's do it. I know how to do it. We won't get into the details. I know how to do it, baby.
Has anybody, ever seen Cofield's alligator arms come around when the check is delivered? Holy shit, he can't reach that wallet. Oh, let me see if I can find it.
I do appreciate it when we went to the steak place there on that was pretty good. Everybody loved Cofield then. Remember that?
Yeah,
for Rob's.
Yeah.
Except the guest of honor,
Rob.
who seemed
guest of honor sat there with
completely miserable to go to one of the top steak places in Vegas, and the whole time he was like, "Sucks." I want to
get a tour of the back and everything. Everybody's talking about how they love Cofield. Listen to the show, touch Steve, you're the best. Nope.
Steve's like, no autographs right now. No autographs.
Meanwhile, our buddy Rob's just wandering around like a zombie. Like
they're going to bring all the desserts for you guys to have. Thanks from the chef.
Credit card roulette is the best.
It is the best.
Right? It is the way to go.
Especially since I never lose.
Kirk.
I never play.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's right. That's because I'm not a boozer. I don't booze it.
Let's explain. Yeah, it's not really fair for him. We all go 4 or 5 drinks in, and this guy's drinking soda.
So Kirk doesn't drink. That is true. Which he's a good friend to have because and he'll drive. Right? He's like, I'm not drinking, so I'll come. He will drive clear across town and get me, and then drive me the other side of town, so I don't have to drive. Right? And then drive me back. Kirk is actually a great friend. But Kirk is one of those guys that everybody's out like, and we actually, I stunningly have way too many friends who don't drink, right? But that's fine. Whatever they do is fine, and I don't care. I'll be the one guy drinking, but 5 guys not. I don't give a shit.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, right. But Kirk is one of the few guys who doesn't drink, who will still buy around for everybody who does when he's out and about all night. That is a huge occurrence, right? Like you're rolling your $2.50 Diet Coke or your Coke for him all night, and you give the gal $6-7 because she brought you 38 Cokes. Meanwhile, everybody else's tab's like $150.
Yeah,
just to get the one, like if you're in Vegas, right, at a nice place, just to get the one round is monumental. Kirk is that guy.
Thank you.
Just for the fact, dumb as shit to wander around the woods forever looking for some half-assed treasure thing.
Let's go, Soren. Come on.
But he will pick up the check for a bunch of drunken assholes.
It's my buddies.
I'm not saying every round he's not getting hit, but just the one. If you're a guy who doesn't drink, that's cool. I'm cool with that. That's great. But like every now and then, just for like the good of the group, you buy a round. That's Kirk. That's what he'll do.
Every once in a while, might have to sneak some booze into the pool. Just saying.
He has helped sneak booze into pools too. Yeah. By the way, they become, or at least not this last summer, the summer before last, they'd become assholes about that. Holy shit. What's in the cooler? Alcohol, dumb shit. What do you think? Who the fuck's carrying a backpack full of fucking ice with some chocolate milk in it? Get the fuck out of the way. Give me my towel.
Sir, you got to put your pants on. Okay, fine. Don't do anything with this.
Are you done, Steve? Are you working on your taxes? What's going on with you?
I was actually crunching the numbers on my Clyde Edwards-Hilaire bet because it just reminded me that next time
you're in good shape.
Next time you're here, and it's going to be here where the restaurants are expensive, unless you're going to take us to an expensive place there. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire or Hilaire is averaging 78 yards a game, and he's on a 12:51 pace. Our buddy Sean was willing to go over. Was willing to bet over under 1,700 total yards. What's at stake? I will be getting, and are we going to Triple George again?
Triple George,
yeah,
baby.
Fine. I like it. Yeah, I'm good.
He will be paying for my meal at Triple George, and if I lose at credit card roulette and I'm unbeaten, he will also be paying for the entire table.
No. That was a stipulation.
What do you mean? He's responsible.
No, that was a stipulation that he's not on the hook.
Oh, son of a bitch.
If he loses credit card roulette, he doesn't have to buy your meal on top of it or something.
I tell you what, if he loses credit card roulette, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
No, stop. That's ridiculous.
He's gone to bed already tonight.
Just as long as you get the pasta like Renee did, and then complain about it. Right?
Flaming Wands is where you want to lose, man, because the prices are cheap.
Yeah. All right.
Who was it? Was it JD who got hit for like $700 at like a Japanese steakhouse you took us to or something? Holy shit!
No boo. the experience.
No, I don't even. We didn't even eat it, Nobu, because you guys all wanted sushi, and we were like, this is ridiculous.
There may well no, I was gonna just keep my mouth shut. I was gonna tell a story.
I mean, do you want us to find something more expensive so that
no,
Sean has to pay for a more expensive meal?
No fucking way we're going there again.
No boo, do.
We could try a steak place. We could try a steak place on the Strip, and the credit card roulette person would be just debilitated.
Oh, I agree. No, I'm good because like we only have how many of us? 6 or 7 of us play.
We also want to manage it so that they're not completely pissed off, and that so they don't ever play again. We want them to be involved when they play. So,
yeah. How many times have you lost?
I've never lost.
You've never lost?
I've got like 9 or 10 free meals.
Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You're next.
What's my record?
I don't know that you've ever lost. Have you lost once?
No.
Yeah, exactly. We're both unbeaten.
I've never lost either. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you don't ever play, you chicken shit.
Yeah, I just pay my whatever, $40. I'm good.
So worthless. I mean, that you should play.
I used to play.
That you should play. Who was it? Doug got hit and was like, and his girlfriend was now
Triple George. Yeah.
No, it was his wife at the time. She was flying out, like when we were all going home, she was flying out and he was staying a couple extra days.
Mm-hmm.
And he loses and he tells her, she's like, well, I'm not coming out now. Like, you lost all our money.
He's like, what are you doing? We're like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm calling my wife. Let her know.
Why are you telling her this, you dumbass? Like, what are you thinking? Was Renee lost?
I don't think so. I think Doug didn't. Did you guys already say it? Doug lost twice that weekend.
Yeah.
No, he didn't lose twice that weekend. He's lost twice, but he only lost once that weekend. I think JD's lost twice.
Nice.
I think he's lost twice. Archie finally lost.
Yeah, he lost.
But he lost like at Flamin' Wands, and it was like $200.
Yeah.
So we can close.
The
with
richest guy in the group loses the $200 one.
Of course. We can close with your rant on week 17, or we can save it next week and let these fine people who are watching go. It's your choice.
I have a rant on week 17.
Well, I don't know. You were talking about. I have it wrong. When is the NFL going to make it official? I just saw the number 17. That they're going to move to 17 games. That they're going to expand the schedule.
Oh, I don't understand. I talked about this with Bob Glaber today. I don't understand. They're like, oh, well, it's not official. We're gonna put it off. What are you waiting on? Like, I cannot understand what it is. You're going to go to 17, and you want to get to 18. And Bob's like, well, they're probably negotiating some other things. It has to do with the TV deal. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, at some point, like, be the boss. Put 17 on the table and say it's definitive, which you have the right to do in your contract, and then you can start bumping towards 18. Like, I don't get it. Like, these are billionaires that are chicken shits. Like, what, the players always fold. And here's the other thing, and we talked about. How has the caliber of football been this year?
Kirk, what do you think?
Pretty good.
Steve?
I think it's been fine.
Right? So off-season programs are dog shit. They're bullshit. You know what they are? They're a coach's wet dream. He likes to have them all out there doing something all the time. They don't need it. They clearly don't need it. They didn't have it. You can zoom it up. So give the players, we're going to play 1 preseason game. So we're going to drop 3 preseason games. And we're going to stop this nonsense practice shit in the summer and just come in for the workouts. And we won 18 games, and we're going to give you more money. And we're done with this. Like,
did you start the 2 games in August, or you push them off to the later?
It doesn't matter. Whatever works with the calendar. Probably start earlier in August. I mean, the future is no stadium should ever be built again that's not a retractable roof. So you should be able to be inside and control the climate when it's really hot. But, like, there's no reason to be jerking around. Like, oh, the coaches won't like it. Well, screw you. Then give me your $8 million back, Andy, who's probably at 12 or 15 million now. Oh, Bill Belichick doesn't like it. Well, up your ass. Like, here we go. Like, I don't get it. I cannot figure out, like, it's where they're going to go. So I've never seen somebody like, well, we want 18 games. It's going to take them 20 years to get to freaking 18 games. Everybody wants it, more football. Do you dislike Tuesday football, Steve?
I kind of liked it this year.
Do you like Wednesday football?
Sure.
I don't understand why we're not at 18 games and expanding to 40 teams as fast as we can possibly get there. There is an appetite, and we're going to have 2 Saturday games. The games are shit on Saturday. They're going to be watched. They're going to win the ratings. Like, you literally, oh, well, that's for college football. The only reason they don't go to that is because they want their free minor leagues, which is bullshit. But there's no reason not to have more games.
More teams, Bozeman, Montana.
There was not. Give me the
No, I
proof.
know.
Give me the proof that there was more injuries. Give me the proof. Every year I hear that. Oh my God, look at all the guys that are hurt. Bullshit. And by the way, again, even so, who cares? Who gives a shit? They're gonna get hurt. It's like pitching. Oh my God, we got our pitcher hurt. Yes, because throwing a baseball as hard as you can 100 times or even 30 times is not a natural act. It's
Right.
a matter of time before they get hurt. Now, there are some freaks that it's 46-year-old Nolan Ryan when they finally get hurt, but most of them it's sometime in their 20s. So running around being like, how do we keep them healthy? Get lots of them because they're going to get hurt.
Well, I guess the question is,
going to get hurt.
can you truly replicate game action with only 2 preseason games and 17 or 18 regular season
They didn't
games?
have any preseason games this year.
Right, and there were guys who did get hurt. I'd have to look at the numbers to see if it was
Show me
more.
the numbers that was a drastic.
I mean, they might have gotten hurt anyway, though.
And turn around and give it to me, do it again next year, and show me that it's drastically higher again. Because it could just be an anomaly.
Right. I mean, a lot of it is who got hurt too. There were guys like Saquon Barkley went down for the year.
A running back getting hurt. That never happens.
In one game, the Niners lose a decent player in Thomas and arguably their best player on defense in Bosa. So that's what sticks with people.
And it happens every year. It's a violent game that is going to result in injuries. And by the way, I mean, listen, for $30 million or the league minimum, which is going to be $1 million by the end of this next collective bargaining agreement. Boo who? Right? I'm not saying I don't care when they're hurt. I do care when they're hurt. But if you sign up to play the game, you know what you're getting involved in. So let's go. 40 teams giving us more games, 18 games during the season, more football. Let's have it and make it worth the players' while to do it. And here we go. It's just like, it's staggering how chicken shit everybody is to lay it out there and be like, this is what we need.
I'm with you, man. I don't have a fight. I wish I did.
Yeah. Get back
You're
to the Christmas lights in.
Did anyone fight you on your show?
Bob Glauber did for a little while.
And then you broke.
He kept telling me, I said, Bob, I understand what they're saying. But again, at the end of the day, here's the problem with America today. Standing up and fighting for what's right and being willing to take on the bullshit. There's a million reasons to not get your fat ass off the couch, but you still got to do it. Everybody wants more football, pay the players more, and let's go.
I'm with you, man. I block people on Twitter every day.
Really? I blocked 22 people.
Every day he does.
I fight the fight for what is right every day on Twitter.
Every day. Look at him smiling.
Oh, man.
Best, baby. It's the best. All right. On that note, probably a block coming soon for saying that Bob Glauber is weak. Can't believe you did that.
Oh, I think he's probably joking. Glauber's the best.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Kirk, that was great.
Go mix it up.
That's it.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, that was great. Good storytelling. I hope everyone enjoyed that. If you didn't, I don't really want to hear it.
Although the spooky fox head in the background.
Whoa, that's the dingo. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Dingo.
And that's how we end it.
Oh boy.
Wow, those are the moves that got you the gig.
Yep.
Yep.